Hey y'all, thanks for having me once again. I super glad and honored to be here again. I was actually here last year with another MegaMan X6 run. Today I'm going to showcase one of my latest tool-assisted speedruns. This one is for X and Zero. So we are controlling two characters with one single controller, which is a one-of-a-kind speedrun. So yeah, are you ready, Hava, to start on countdown?
Yep, go ahead and count us down whenever you guys are ready, and we'll go ahead and get that timer started for you.
Sure. Before that, I also have BlueImp with me here, co-commentating. Can you introduce yourself real quick?
Hey everyone, I'm BlueImp. I run this game here and there because it's kind of painful, but it's fun. I haven't watched this task yet, so it's gonna be fun. Hope you all enjoy it.
Cool. So let's start on countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go. So, as you can see, you will be able to see two screens. On the left, you will have X, and on the right, you will have Zero. These both games are using MegaMan X6. We are going to be playing in extreme mode, which is the hardest difficulty, and we are also doing the all stages run. So we are going to defeat all main merits of the game before going to the final stages. So you might be asking, how did were we able to set this up? So on the right, you will have a tweaked version of the game where you can start with Zero, which is normally not possible. Normally you will only start with X, and then you will beat a certain boss, and then you will be able to actually have Zero unlock. On this case, we are going to have Zero from the beginning on the right, but on the left we are going to have X. We are controlling both with the same input, which definitely I encounter many challenges to make this task as I move on. But yeah, our preferable method of movement is crouch dashing, which is by pressing down and dash when there's no obstacles in the middle, like here, for example. As you may know already from MegaMan, so it's like a typical MegaMan where he jumps and shoots lemons and charge weapons. Zero, on the other hand, is a different because he actually uses a saber mostly as a main weapon. He can slash it very fast to destroy a lot of obstacles and boxes. He also has a bolster, but he only can shoot it on the ground, given that his specialty is not using that. So we are already going into the first boss in the intro stage. Different as a speedrun or TASGiving speedrun, we will be using a technique where we use R dash with X and the saber. For Zero, we are using SDC, which is a technique that Zero can use where he can slash very fast. As you can see, Zero already defeated the boss, while X is still taking its time. This boss was not designed so Zero will be here, so he will be having some advantages here and there. But yeah, just like that, both are destroyed.
We're also taking damage with X. We need to take damage with X also because since you can't kill it that fast, we alternate between hitting the boss and taking damage, so we can bonk high max and end the scripted fight immediately.
Yeah. Right now we are going to encounter High Mass. High Mass is a boss that you cannot defeat. You can end the boss fight in two ways, either via a timer or either by getting killed in double quotes, because you will get only down to 1 HP before stopping the boss fight. So this is similar a little bit to Vile on MegaMan X1. As you can see, Zero already has like a really big advantage because he was able to defeat the boss really fast, while S is really behind. One of the things I learned real hard, because this is my first time doing this kind of task, is that if you have both characters out of sync, like one is way forward than the other, it makes it very difficult to do. It's still possible, of course, but there are cases where you want them to be on sync before you are able to, so you are actually able to move on, and that's something you will see.
Yeah, something funny about this extreme mode is it's actually technically faster because of some cycles.
Oh, interesting! I didn't do that. So the first stage that we're going to visit is Rainy Truthloy stages. Basically, we are looking forward to get 2 parts, which we are going to explain later, Hyper Dash and Saber Plus. So BlueImp, can you explain what's the gimmick behind this stage?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. The stage has this acid rain where it's slowly draining your HP, so you have to go around the stage killing these keys to disable the shield around the generator so you can destroy the generator and stop the rain.
And this is something you will see throughout the whole stage, but as you can see there, I was stuck at a point where I had to wait for X because I needed to move left to move on, while X still needed to move right, so I had to make a trade-off. In this case, I needed to wait for X before moving on. But yeah, this rain is going to deal damage over time, which is not an issue for like a task, but it's definitely an issue the first time you play the game. Another thing we also are doing on our way is actually collecting a few souls. So souls are these blue orbs that these timer enemies, the ones with tentacles, drop. It will allow the character that takes the orb to actually increase the rank and then allows to increase equip parts. So that blue portal you saw there is a portal to an alternate area. So all 8 main stages has an alternate area where you can defeat, when you can have the opportunity to fight a particular boss, depending on the state of the game right now. Here, we actually came here specifically to get Hyper Dash, which I believe we already did, and also we are going to grab a Saber Plus from another Reploid. So these Reploids, these characters that ask for help, are characters that you can save by touching them, and they will out you 1 life and actually give you more health. And some of the specific ones also have parts that you can equip.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting that despite the big advantage that Zero had at the intro stage, they're both pretty synced up here.
Yeah, I sometimes make it deliberately on sync, so it's easier for me to work and it's more nice to watch. So we have Nightmare Zero, which is our first alternate boss. So typically this is a boss that you get to actually unlock Zero, so typically you will go here and actually fight this boss and actually get Zero afterwards, which is the main character for RTN speedruns. But I decided to defeat him because it's slower to just die and actually go back. So on the left, we unlocked Zero, but we are not going to use him. The next thing, so the strategy right now, so we got Hyper Dash, but we cannot equip it. So the strategy from here is actually to defeat 2 of the bosses. Each boss is going to drop a green orb, which costs 200 souls. We need 500 souls to start using Hyper Dash, which allow us to have really high dashing speed. So because of that, we want to defeat the 2 bosses with the shortest stages. So one of them is Infinity Maginium, or Maginium. I'm not sure how to spell that name. His stage is the second shortest one. So we are going to blaze through it and actually get the souls. So the gimmick of this stage is that you will have this boss, or mid boss actually, on the background called Illumina. She, because it's a her, she will be shooting fireballs as you move on to the stage, while you also face some obstacles and enemies. And then you will be beat by this eye, which is like a core that you can destroy to actually make damage. On the way, also, we are also destroying more nightmares to get more souls. We need also 100 souls aside from the ones that the bosses are going to provide. So now by destroying this core, we defeated Illumina. So as you can see, it takes a little bit more time to defeat them. And another quick nice thing is I actually manipulated with RNG these nightmares to spawn to the right. Normally they're on top of the character, so they will hit you as soon as the cutscene ends.
A pretty cool jump between the nightmares there also. Ideally in a real run, we would go to shoot Sheldon first with Zero to get the guard shell to kill Illumina faster, but the task probably doesn't even need it.
We have Security Machinian. He's a very peculiar boss, so the strategy is for S to use C Buster, charge X Buster and C Saber, and Zero will use the C Buster. Zero has a great advantage here because he does the same damage as the charge X Buster without the need to charge, which is kind of broken. But the thing is, he only can do the C Buster on the ground. So as you saw that green orb basically gives us 200 souls. As you will see, the control will increase. So the strategy now is actually go to the other shortest stage and actually get 200 more and be able to equip Hyper Dash.
I believe the TAS also uses the equip glitch, which you can press confirm and cancel at the same frame when equipping a part, and that lets you equip another one on top of it, even if you don't have enough souls.
Yeah, we're going to use that later.
Yeah, you can chain a bunch of those and equip multiple parts at once.
Yeah, you can even equip more than the game was designed to use. You can equip like all parts, or not all, but like most of them.
Yeah, in 100% we equip like a bunch of them at once.
Yeah, why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
So the next stage is Shieldon. So Shieldon is the shortest stage. The gimmick. Can you quickly explain the gimmick on this stage?
There's these panels they shoot that you have to. It's like a puzzle stage where you have to hit these panels to redirect the lasers to open up the doors. So you wanna try to get these cycles as fast as possible. They're kind of wonky with how they target you, especially in the alternate area. But we're not gonna see it. It's exclusive to Hondo, aka 100%.
Yeah, and actually, this has an advantage in this stage because he's able to spin like the reflectors way more faster than Zero. And yeah, just like that, we got to the boss. This shields it down, so he basically has two clam shells and he will throw at you. And then once he throws the shell, he's vulnerable. So what we are going to use, we are going to use Charge Ray Arrow for X, which is like the weakness of all bosses except Venenium. Zero also already defeated the boss on the right. So let me quickly explain what SDC means. So SDC is a technique that Zero can do, which stands for slash dash cancel. So the slash and dash are cancelable within each other by using like the dash. So the pattern is like slash, then dash, then slash, and then dash. So like you can cancel each other and you can actually slash like really fast. And specifically for TAS, because TAS is like frame perfect, you can do like a frame perfect SDC. And you can basically defeat a boss like really instantly, basically.
Yeah,
X doesn't have that unfortunately, so yeah, he has to struggle to defeat some of the bosses. Right now we are equipping Hyper Dash, and we are also equipping Saber Plus for Zero. So Hyper Dash will allow to move really fast, and Saber Plus will allow Zero to do even more damage. So like BlueImp mentioned before, we are using the item slot glitch. I'm not sure how that glitch is named, but you can equip like multiple parts on top of each other by confirming and canceling at the same time, on the same frame specifically, which is kind of broken because otherwise we will need to have 1,000 or 900 souls to complete the second part. So as you can see, both characters move like really faster, way faster than before. And yeah, we're going to traverse this stage with this Nightmare effect. This is Nightmare Dark, which is an effect that is caused by visiting Infinity Machinian earlier. So it basically makes black out parts of the screen, which I don't know who thought was a good idea, but okay, that's the game we got. And then we're going to platforming and then move on to the boss, which is Commander Jamar.
X is gonna kill it with the Charge Ray Arrow as well. It's a really broken weapon.
Yeah. So yeah, Charge Ray Arrow basically does 8 damage to all bosses, except a few exceptions, of course, which is like really broken. Maybe something they wanted to fix, but they didn't get to fix it before the release of the game. So just 4 Ray Arrows do the trick, while Zero just bought some time doing some of those things, and then I finished BSTC. So at this point, we got 200 more nightmare souls, but at this point, we don't care about having more because we are not going to have more. We are going to need more parts. Aside from one that we will be getting later. But yeah, that dark session that you saw before is a feature, like a mechanic on the game called Nightmare Effects. So by visiting a stage, you can alter another stage, and you have like different stuff happening, like darkening areas with magma ball falling from the sky, icy floors in some stages. So yeah, it's going to be it varies depending on the boss. So we are going now to the Renitrutloi area again, but this time we are actually going to defeat the boss. Also, we want to get the Ensuisan, which allows us to perform a glitch that Zero can perform. So we actually went to the previous stage to actually get Jamark option. So Jamark option is a weapon that Commander Jamark gives us that allows to summon dragonflies around the character. That will help them to actually shoot at enemies and actually do damage by getting the dragonflies to contact the enemies. Or is specifically broken because you can make the dragonflies they make contact and then go back and then go forward, so you can like abuse the hitbox, which is a little bit broken for those enemies that don't have invisibility.
Yeah, in a real run, it's more difficult to use because of how the dragonflies spin around. Sometimes you want to hit an enemy with the dragonflies, and they just don't do it because they're spinning around.
It doesn't help that they move as well, so it's really tricky. It's basically frame perfect to some extent, or pixel perfect rather. So now we're going to Renitrutloi, the boss fight. This fight is meant you need to destroy those green jewels to actually do damage, but we are going to exploit by going to the right to the other side, which is going to allow us to do damage. There's a glitch that I found with S, or not with S, but you can do it with any character, that you can cancel the invincibility. So you cancel the invincibility and then you hit the game. So allowing you to do like a lot of damage really fast, at least really fast for S standards at least. You just STC the boss and yeah, it's basically not a boss fight anymore at this point.
Yeah, also about the Hammer option, I believe it's gonna be used with Axe for a pretty cool quick kill on Scaravage.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that stage will have a few surprises. So now we are moving to Metal Shark Player. Metal Shark Player is a stage where basically the game is that you will have this huge press that will constantly go up and down. And basically the idea is that it will try to crush you. But we are going to do a few workarounds on that.
I believe these crushers and the falling ice in Wolfang stage is what makes extreme mode faster because they fall faster.
Oh yeah, because on normal mode they don't drop as fast.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we're going to do is actually grab the. Oh, sorry.
No problem, no worries. I'm not sure if in a real run, like RTA would be faster because of the amount of enemies that Extreme adds to the stages, but no task settings faster yet. Oh, and Zero is invincible right now.
Yeah, that's the invisibility glitch. I forgot to explain that. Basically, with Zero can trigger a glitch which allows him to be invisible for most of the time by using the weapon that we got from Renitrutloi. And that's why he can like move through enemies without the issue. X, on the other hand, cannot do that. So he has to like either avoid them or kill them before moving on. I also made a slight delay right there for X because Zero, for some reason, the game loads slower for Zero than for X. So I made like an offset so they are both in sync and because of the press, I want the press to be in sync on both, so it's easier for me to manage when to move on. Zero is invisible already, by the way. So this invisibility gauge is can be stopped if he dies because being crushed or falling into a fall pit, or by having cutscenes or traversing doors as well.
Anything that takes control away of the player will disable the glitch.
Yeah, basically. Like this right now. I really, like Zero right here lost it. So we are going to use charge guard shield for this mini boss. It's the auto weakness. So if you put yourself in the middle, you can actually damage like the boss really fast. This mini boss is actually faster with S than Zero.
Yeah, this mini boss in RTA is a pain because he can decide to just throw bombs for as long as he likes, and if he wants, he can also go down and try to crush you and waste even more time.
Yeah. So this is Metal Shark player. So in this explanatory, as is going to continue using charge rearrow, SDC will most likely play around and then finish with SDC. Like that. Above that, this boss was actually meant to be Metal Shark player because he can resurrect like all Mavericks. So it's like it was used like for cameos. So like for example, he will summon Blast Hornet for MegaMan X3.
X3,
And what is it, the other one? Magma Centipede, right? For MegaMan X2.
Yeah, you can summon Blast Hornet, Centipede, and I believe also Chameleon from X1.
Oh yeah, you also get Chameleon, right? Another thing is that the weapon that you get from here will allow you to summon Strong Eagle from MegaMan X1. So the next stage is Blaze Hitnitz. So his stage is a little bit annoying for a lot of people because the gimmick is basically you have to defeat the mini boss 5 times, and also avoiding some lava as well here and there, which is a little bit annoying. For that, so basically this boss has 4 weak points on each corner. We call them donut because it's kind of like a donut, so you will see now. It has like a huge life bar as well. So this is going to use charge metal anchor, which we already basically got, and here is going to use this is Rekoha, which is the weapon we got from Hygenium. And also you will be able to see some iron blocks. This is a nightmare thread that we got by visiting Metal Shark player. It's basically meant to be like a platform, and sometimes it's actually meant to be a like a blocker. As you can see, this is the second snake, Nightmare Snake, which is the actual name of this boss. We're going to the lower path because we also want to collect Ultimate Bolster that will be used for X later. The third one is going to be defeated quickly as well. Also, Zero sometimes uses Jamark option to actually because like defeating this boss in one single attack is really hard. It's frame perfect, pixel perfect, and RNG has to be involved, lag frames has to be involved. It's like really annoying, really hard. And this is the most difficult Nightmare Snake because it hits most of the time. But yeah, to defeat it, we start this second session. We got damage from Zero here to actually be able to use another Rekoha. Rekoha is a Jig attack, which means that you take damage to refill ammo as well. That's another way to actually get ammo. And just like that, we already got to the boss. And now we are going to face Blaze Hitnitz.
In RTA, you can actually use a Sensui Zone, which another one of Zero's moves to completely skip this last donut, but it only works on the Japanese version.
Oh yeah. So Blaze Hitnitz is a peculiar boss because it's one of those cases where it's faster with Edge than Zero. So as you can see, the stun animation for Zero takes way longer, which means that he gets more invisibility frames.
He's also
this is one. Sorry.
Yeah, he thinks with Zero. I think he's weak to Sensuizan. I don't know if it just deals a lot of damage or if it's his actual weakness.
Yeah,
I believe it is.
yeah, it's, but we don't have it right now, so that's why I use the third slice instead.
Yeah.
And also another thing is that Blaze Hades is one of the few bosses that you cannot SCC, at least on most of the time. There is like a glitch that you cannot do, like after he has like half HP. But yeah, not the case in this case. Now we're going to Blizzard Wolfang. Basically, we want the ice block weapon that he drops, so let's can use it for later. But yeah, this is the typical ice stage. Everything is slippery, and you can die really easily because of pits of deaths that there are. This stage is going to benefit a lot, or rather, Zero is going to benefit a lot from this stage because he can use invisibility glitch to pass all obstacles. But Edge has to eat all the damage. So Zero will trigger the invisibility glitch now. There we go. As you can see, he can move through enemies, but Edge, on the other hand, has to take the damage from all those obstacles.
Yeah, he's also doing some movement tech here that only works on ice or slippery surfaces, which we call the rocket, which makes you dash really fast on ice.
Yeah. That's something we can abuse because we can, like, it can be frame perfect most of the time. So
Yeah,
this section is a little bit unfortunate for Edge, but Edge has to do this very slowly. So we have these rows of blocks of ice blocks that are falling. Zero can just double jump to move forward really easily, really fast. Edge, on the other hand, the only thing he can do is actually use Magma Blade, which is this weapon to stay on air for longer, so he can like jump as soon as possible. Zero is waiting for Edge because, like, yeah, like we can move on with Zero, but then we will need to catch up at some point. Generally, Edge is the sub-optimal character to use, and that's why on speedruns this is barely used. Because Zero can like defeat bosses really fast. But yeah, so at some point Zero will need to wait for Edge, regardless. So we have a Wolfang. Basically, we are going to use Charge Ray Arrow again, and we are going to use STC for Zero. His weakness is the Magma Blade, as you can see, for Zero. I mean, obviously, fire can defeat ice pretty easily, but yeah. Also, something you might notice, we already have like way over 1,000 souls. We don't care about souls at this point. So that's why I made the overlay to just say 1,000 plus. Because at this point you can equip the limited parts, but we are not going to do so in this task.
It's not really necessary.
Sorry, bro, you say something?
No, I said it's not really necessary to equip like a bunch of parts.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the life plus, no, the life container is like the one mostly used, but like we don't need to use it in the task.
Life recovery, yeah.
Yeah. So we are going to the final main boss stage, Ground Scaravage. This stage, so pay quick attention, we will see like brokenness in this stage specifically. There's a lot of things that doesn't go as planned. So we wanted Ice Block for X, so he can actually pass through these holograms. These holograms will transport you to another sub-area, as you can see. And Zero will also defeat this totem right now, and then at the very bottom he will press select. This will allow him to escape like totems, the holograms, while X is doing the ice block glitch to actually escape them. This basically allows you to skip the whole stage, and then you will get to the end. Also, a quick notice on how the background looks for Zero because the way he escaped the whole stage.
Yeah,
So now we are going quickly to face Ground Scaravage. Apologies for that. We're going to use the invisibility glitch that BlueImp mentioned before, so it's basically get defeated in 1 second. I'm actually making a video right now explaining why this works and how you can use it in different scenarios. But the idea is that before he starts moving, if you trigger invincibility and then he starts moving, he will glitch out his invincibility and allows you to do as many. You can do basically, you can continuously hit him while he has invincibility for that short period. Louis, you were going to say something before I interrupt you.
I was gonna say that the trick to skip the totems with 0, I believe, is extremely precise.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's basically frame preference. Like you press select one frame before, you miss the glitch, or if you press it one frame after, you also miss the glitch. So we already defeated our main bosses, so now we are moving into the final stages. So we are going to the gate 1 stage. This stage is the first roadblock that most people get, because if you come without the right equipment, you are not able to beat it. So you will below, once we fall into this pit, you will notice that there's a bunch of spike walls. Unfortunately, Zero can easily pass it with double jump, but S on the other hand needs to be using this gimmick. So he will be using Ice Block. He will jump on the Ice Block, then pressing start, change weapon, and then using Ice Block again to be able to actually move around. Zero just can double jump and he can move on. Also, he activated invisibility glitch there on the icy floor, so he can pass through enemies. S on the other hand needs to use the mark option to actually be able to defeat enemies and continue to move without interruption, or as little as possible. We're going to enter the sub areas with lava. So basically, this is an introduction. So we will have lava sections from here on out. No, at least for this stage. This is basically an auto scroller. At this point, you cannot move on because the lava is rising and then going down again. So we need to wait a little bit for it to rise all the way up, then go down slowly, allowing us the opportunity to actually go through. We will take some damage here, so we can actually skip the remaining of the lava going down. Then we will have another auto scroller with more lava racing again. Basically, we need to wait for the auto scroller to go to the top before we can enter the boss room. We're also messing around because we got to do something while we wait. So we are just like moving around, jumping, destroying enemies, and all that. So now we're moving into the to the boss of this stage, which is Nightmare Mother. Nightmare Mother is a cameo to the devil bosses that we used to that MegaMan has. So you have these eyes inside these massive blocks. You cannot hit the eye until the eye goes outside the block, as you will imagine. On this, for the strategy players, we will wait for them to go out. Edge is going to use metal to charge, metal anchor, which is the weakness, and Zero is going to using Rakukojin with Commander with Yamark option, and also the third slash of the saber. So on the first, we already so we went to the first cycle. Each character destroyed one eye. Now they need to destroy the other one. As you can see here, we'll do third slash and then Rakukojin here, which is the weakness. One question: is this like the biggest blocker for new speedrunners for this game?
I believe so. Yeah, because if you mess up the strat to get the Rakukojins, and you're gonna take a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is like really unforgiving boss fight, especially if you use Zero, because Zero doesn't have armors, unlike S. So S can actually take more damage than Zero. So now you're equipping Ultimate Buster. Ultimate Buster is a part that only S can equip. It will allow him to shoot charge weapons right away without charging them, which sounds broken, but there are some issues with that. So he will have a cooldown period before he shoots again. We didn't equip it before because we needed to use the Ice Block, because the thing is that you cannot use own charge weapons with that. Something also to notice here specifically, typically in speedruns you'll see that we do a torrent glitch here, skip. So we will skip like these torrents altogether. But the thing is, Falcon armor, it cannot escape it with this armor, so he will be needing like other armors to be able to escape it. So Zero needs to wait for him. So now we are doing this skip, the second part of it. So Zero move ahead and then Zero jump back. And then they go put on Sync King, and then they go to the first boss, because this stage has 2 parts and 2 bosses in each part. So we're going to be fighting Hymas. This is a boss that you may remember from the very beginning of the game. It's a very tedious boss to fight. This is another roadblock, I imagine, for newer speedrunners. Because the way to defeat him is that you shoot a charge buster, and then you use a weapon to hit him. But there's another way to do that, that's by destroying the shields. If you destroy 4 shields, you should be able to actually get him into this berserk mode, where he just massively chews this boss with it. He called Death Ball. And basically, yeah. Another thing here is Eds is messing around, because this is another of those boss fights where Eds is faster than Zero, because Eds can do more damage than Zero can. So and that is the difference is just 1 damage. But over time they add up and actually make a difference.
Yeah, these balls will do a lot of damage.
Sorry, what did you say?
The balls that Hymax throws at you do a lot of damage if you mess up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do like 6 to 8 damage to that. It's very, very... That's a lot. Yeah. Oh, this is the second part of the stage. So we are still on the same stage. And this stage is going to be different depending on the character that you choose from, starting here. So X has a different area than Zero, and basically Zero will have a press area similar to Metal Shark player stage. X, on the other hand, we have a rain area similar to the rain to play stage. Unfortunately, this is way slower for Zero, this specific stage. As you can see from here, Ed's already can go to the final part of the stage, and Zero is still lagging behind because of the press. It's like blocking him. So yeah, Ed's already got to the boss fight, and Zero is just starting to go to the area before the boss fight. So the boss fight here is Gate. Gate is a boss that you cannot do damage to. So the design idea is that he will shoot like a projectile, like a circular object. You will destroy such object, and that object will spark 6 particles across all the way, and that is what damages him. So what we are doing is, in this case, we are making sure he shoots these balls or spheres as close as possible to him, so they can like damage Gate immediately. For Zero, sorry, it's a little bit difficult because you will like being so close means that you will take damage. So yeah, Zero will need to go a little bit forward before actually being able to destroy the spheres. And also because of the benefit that S has, S basically is way ahead of Zero. But it's not something to worry about, because the next stage is the final stage, which as a MegaMan game, you know, it will involve revisiting a lot of fighting this, having a boss rush where you are going to defeat every single boss again. Zero can easily see, so he will be easily catching up to it and even surpassing him.
Yeah, something else about Gate is that he is extremely random. The TAS obviously Gate is extremely random. Like the TAS manipulates him, but in a real run you can go in there 30 seconds ahead and come out 2 minutes behind. He decides to throw the balls at you.
Yeah, because sometimes he can decide to just do nothing, which means that you will be waiting a lot. In any case, so we are starting the boss rush. So we are going to start from the bottom and going all the way to the top. The first boss that we are going to face is Infinity Meginium. Meginium, so we'll be using a combination of weapons. So Meginium is one of those bosses that you cannot do damage with Ray Arrow. So we're going to use the Charge Buster and Jamark option. So I mentioned before, there is a cooldown period with by using Ultimate Buster. You need to wait like 40 to 60 frames before you're able to shoot the game. So having the dragonflies out means that you can do damage with the dragonfly while you wait for the cooldown to wear off. Another way to immediately remove the cooldown is to get hit. So you can shoot the buzzer, get hit, and then you can shoot the buzzer again, but that involves getting damage. So that means there is a limit on how much you can do of it. Second boss, Garshell, Shieldon, I completely forgot. So here we are using Ray Arrow, but we are also using metal charged metal anchor. Sorry. The reason being that we have limited ammunition for the Ray Arrow, so we want to use it as much as we can for the whole boss rush. So we are using the weakness where it makes sense to save ammunition for that specific weapon. Next is Ready to Deploy. So similar to before, we are moving all the way to the right and then use the Saber attack with S to do over and over again to do damage. So it will cancel over and over. It will hit, then cancel the invincibility, and then hit again, and so far and so forth. Zero basically just SDC, and as you can see, Zero already catch up to X. Now we are going to face Ground Scaravage. Ground Scaravage, we will use the glitch again, where we are going to glitch his invincibility to do damage like really quick, really fast, like that. For Zero case, we use SDC. SDC is faster if you have Saber Plus specifically. Because like being frame perfect allows you to like slash really, really fast to the point where you can defeat him just before he starts moving. Now we are going to Metal Shock player. So again, we are using a combination of Charge Buster and Commando Yamark option. So we can do damage with the Dragonfly while we wait. We are also doing some getting hit here and there to actually remove the cooldown. So as you can see, we shoot, get damage, and shoot again, which means you can do even more damage because Commando Yamark option Dragonflies do 2 damage, Charge Exposer do 4 damage. Next boss is Blaze Hitnix. So this is the boss where X is faster than Zero. So X will move on from here. I believe we are using a Ray Arrow here. And we are using Suicide for Zero, which is the actual weakness of the boss. And then also using the glitch where you can SDC. So there's a specific attack that Blaze Hitnix does that allows him to be SDCable for some reason. Before doing the attack, he will just stay there, and that's the indication that he's going to do that. And yeah, from there you can actually SDC him. This is the second to last boss. This is Blizzard Wolfang. We're going to use Commander Yamark and Ed's Buster. And for Zero, we will using Shoelsan, which is the fire sword. Oh, sorry, we are using CC. At this point, Zero move ahead, or I made Zero move ahead. He will actually go to the last boss, which is Commander Yamark. Also, it's funny, the double warning signs on your ears. Here I use a combination of the S-Buster and acid. I don't remember how this weapon is called. Acid Ray. I would just call it Acid Ray. So this weapon you can summon it and then you can shoot, and you can with nerd RNG you can make it so these bubbles will hit Yamark while you are on the cooldown period of the 8th bosser. So with all the 8 bosses defeated, we can move on to the final part of the game and to actually fight the final boss. So as you notice, I made Ed's move ahead. This is specifically because Zero will catch up eventually. We're talking about Zero, of course. So yeah, I just move on and made my best to control both characters, even if they were auto sync. Here on the final boss, we are going to use Ray Arrow because it's another of those bosses that take 8 damage from it. And this is Sigma. I don't think you have seen Sigma like this before in any other Mega Man game, which is hilarious to me. So he will slowly move towards you and then do damage, shooting his door and trying to touch you. So as you can see, Zero already catch up because SDC, he can just demolish the boss. While S is taking his time doing charge Ray-Arrow. Sorry, you were saying?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. We're moving to the final boss, Sigma Part 2. So I'm going to do a really aggressive SDC with Zero, basically to manipulate RNG. And then I'm going to use the invisibility glitch over this platform that Sigma summons. So we're going to wait for him to open the mouth. Edge, we're going to use the C Saber, and Zero will use the C Buster, the Sweet Sand, and R Slash. And he already defeated the boss. Edge is already just did the final hit. Yeah, with this you can say the game is finished. The time is going to be finishing the next cutscene. So let's wait for that before calling time. Time is coming. Just a second. Now, the time. One nice detail I also made is that I made the both in the start the credits at the same time, so the music is in sync on both sides. So yeah,
That's pretty cool.
This has been my participation this year. Really honored and really grateful for this opportunity. Hopefully next year we have another task to showcase and something new. I'm thinking potentially we can showcase an X4 task with both X and Zero. It's going to take some time, of course, but yeah, so hopefully something I can make before the next event. But yeah, if you like this content, you definitely can find me on YouTube. I actually make YouTube content of this game specifically, and also some other games I like. You can find me on Rolanman1, basically YouTube/C/Rolanman1. BlueImp, where they can find you?
On YouTube as well, but I made my YouTube account so long ago that I don't remember the slash thingy on the URL. So just typing my name should probably do it. On Twitch as well.
Cool, sounds good. So that's all from us. Yeah, thanks for having us.